to 8 points before it was 8 points? Like when it was all points with Varanite?
I would assume not.
I was really hoping you would say Archeon's dick trippings again.
Native to Archeon's dick.
Yes, I just randomly started.
It's just his ball cheese is what it is.
Oh. Wow. You touch Varanite and you basically just turn into a Chaos Spawn and then explode.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Welcome to Lorecast Eternals, guys!
Archeon's cock. What happens if you touch Warpstone? Do you just turn into a rat?
No, it's...
What's this? Yes. What?
No, so like Warpstone is basically just you touch it and you become corrupted by chaos. So like, yeah, you start mutating and shit like that, but like Varanite is basically just like, would you like to see spontaneous human mutation?
If that is not
like an explosion,
if that is not the heaviest, like Archeon is the best character ever, because if Warpstone is literally pure physically manifested chaos stuff, and it's like you start mutating, but Varanite in the 8 points, where Archeon has this fucking shit as you like blow up and turn to this fucking dude. That's not the biggest instance of...
It's pure corruption.
It's pure Archeon angst.
I mean,
it's also
pure chaos.
It's also a liquid. Varanite's a liquid. But you can apparently forge weapons from it?
That's what Archeon dunks his balls in every time he has to go fight Stormcast.
Basically. No, dude, listen to this, though. This is straight out of the book. Corruption in liquid form, but then later on it says, weapons forged from solidified Varanite. It's like, how the fuck do you solidify it?
This just sounds like mercury. Or not mercury, but, no, mercury is liquid.
Liquid at room temperature.
Just sounds like mercury.
You solidify it by throwing holy water on it.
Archeon solidifies it by dunking his nuts in it. Like, come on, I just said this.
No. That's you were talking about Archeon's ball drippings earlier, right? Like, the shit that drips off of it. That's what becomes solid Varanite.
Jesus Christ. But no. So my point being is that you said that Warpstone is literally pure physical manifested chaos.
Solidified chaos and one of the most dangerous of all the realms.
How the fuck is that not as deadly as whatever the fuck Varanite is?
Because it's pure corruption.
Oh my fucking god.
Chaos corrupts, but corruption is what gives you all the...
They just need a big Archeon spookier than he already is because Archeon.
I don't think it's Archeon.
I can almost
I think the big thing about Warpstone is that they're trying, at least according to this book. By the way, hello everyone. Welcome to Lorecast Eternals. We are currently reviewing Realmstone out of the Soulbound Core rulebook.
Oh, also, I'm not dead.
Yeah. By the way, Jacob's not dead.
I almost was, but I'm not.
I'm dead on the inside.
I had to go to the hospital, so that was fun.
I probably should have.
Yeah,
I died on the inside. Well, I'm currently dead on the inside.
Whoop! Whoop.
But that's kind of old news, Mitchell. You're always dead on the inside.
I mean, I just don't get any sleep anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, COVID round 2 was a lot worse than COVID round 1.
Which is weird because everybody here says that COVID round 2 is always much easier.
For me, it was different symptoms. Like COVID 1, I had like all the symptoms besides throwing up, like loss of taste, body aches, fever, mucus, generally wanting to kill myself, all that good shit. But COVID round 2 is like, gonna have a little bit of fever. Gonna be pretty mucusy. But your body's gonna feel like it's on fire fucking constantly. Yeah. So I just got like horrendous body aches, and I would basically just be laying in bed like, please let me die.
Yeah, I feel that.
Note, first topic is...
I am not dead. Yeah, so I'm back. We're just, like I said, we're just doing some reviewing, and I'm talking mad shit about Archeon because that gives me life.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast. Today we're actually going to be talking about the Winds of Magic, which is why we're looking at Realmstone.
Ew.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we got to make all our other announcements, because we always wait to the end, and I don't think anybody actually truly...
I mean, I would like to think some people listen to me.
No, some people
do.
We
have a high retention, right?
The point of this conversation is, just want to let y'all know, if y'all want to reach out to us, feel free to hit us up on our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can't hit us up there, but you can find us there.
Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review.
Yeah, I'm sure you can leave a comment and tell us we suck. So, like, you can kind of
Audible, you can tell us we suck there.
Okay, cool.
Podbean, you can tell us we suck there. Awesome. Instagram, go look at...
I know you can tell us we suck on Instagram.
Well, yeah, Instagram's like the homeland of, like, hey, guess what? Get shit on because, like, lol reasons.
I thought that was Twitter.
It's all of them.
That's fair.
Twitter was going to be my realm.
Your realm.
Instagram is your realm.
Woo.
Haha.
Do we all just share Facebook Messenger?
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting a YouTube channel up eventually.
It is actually up. It's
is it up? Okay.
It's not. It's just not doing.
There's
anything.
nothing there.
I thought Podbean was supposed to like automatically upload videos of our podcast. It just never happened.
So we'll probably be going into YouTube soon and like putting all of our podcasts on there and put like dumbass pictures or something like that.
Yes,
Cool
but
pictures of cats.
Heyo.
But we have to get stock pictures that we can like legally use off the internet, but they have like the stamps across them that say like stock on them or whatever.
We need to have stock pictures, but there's like one super tiny Warhammer figure in the back, so GW can claim it and like destroy our entire being
I know, right?
and sue us.
Oh,
and
dude.
probably send like some weird British hit squad.
Dude,
to kill
have
us
you seen
by
the
beating
new,
us to death with
Have you
teacups.
seen the new update to their IP?
I know they've been changing it. Wasn't it supposed to be better?
Oh, no, it got worse again.
Open quote, better, end quote.
No, it got worse again.
Really?
Oh, yeah, now they're shitting on fan fictions.
I mean, if I saw Space Marine trying to fucking turn it, I'd probably be a little offended too.
Okay, not that kind. Well, that fanfic too, but no. Like, I'm talking about like the people who are like just writing stories in the 40K universe. Yeah, no, you can now no longer collect any kind of monetary value out of it, including fundraising. So if I had a Patreon and I was like, yeah, I write Warhammer fanfics in addition to like doing other shit, technically they can now sue me for IP. For breaking IP.
What you do is say
Continue.
What you do is you on your Patreon you say subscribe to my Patreon for a monthly cup of coffee and you get free Warhammer stories included. But you're paying me.
Yeah,
for
no, but
coffee.
that's fundraising.
You're fundraising for coffee.
Yeah, but you included Warhammer in that.
It's for free though. You're not getting any monetary value on the Warhammer. It's on the coffee itself.
Yeah, but like, and then it has to like, it's bad.
So why though? Like, what was the what was their reasoning for that?
Bruh,
Like,
it's fucking
like
it's their fucking legal team on their crackhead bullshit.
It's just,
again. I'm just waiting for them to like hit us up and be like, hey, cease and desist, and it's like, why? It's like because you're having fun with our shit and that's not allowed.
It's just like Apex Legends Season 2 show Warhammer community.
We're not even making money on
the
this
new
yet.
season.
Yeah, but like the second we make a fucking penny, G-Dub's gonna be like, hey, so
No. It's
get
gonna be called donations because
it's fundraising.
no, it's not. It's called a donation.
A donation is fundraising.
They're helping me pay for rent.
Yeah, except that we provide a service for Warhammer.
Okay, so what if our Patreon is just for cat pictures? And
That's what I'm saying.
But that's it. Like, it's just for cat pictures, and it's completely separated from the podcast.
To be fair, I just don't want to like have a dick throwing contest with fucking G-Dubs. Like,
All
that's
we
just
have
a
to
battle I
do,
don't
if
wanna have.
it's really going to come to that, we just stop taking money and we continue.
Yeah, but I like money. It's convenient.
So does GW while this is happening.
Yeah. That's
Okay, no, like, okay, just one more side tangent on this shitting on GW thing. Have y'all watched any of like the Warhammer Plus videos at all?
Oh no,
No.
I heard they're pretty bad.
I've
though,
seen
or some of them.
I have seen some of them because I totally don't pirate things. And
well, like YouTube does that for you, so like
yeah, I mean, some of it. But yeah, no, it's fucking bad. Like, okay, for instance, there was one, the only good one, and this is still really bad, but the only good one was when there's this tech priest that was working on a Castellan, the fucking big red robots that look humanoid and they have the gun over their shoulder.
Oh yeah, Castellan.
She's like working on this fucking Castellan, like, and she's like trying to get Archaeopteryx.
Oh yeah. I saw that video on YouTube. It's like the ritual of it. Like what it was labeled was like the ritual of the holy USB stick or something like that. Yeah. It was like this video
So
where it's a data smith.
Yeah, she has the USB sticks, and like so, there's this thing where she's like backing up into this like ruin or something, and she's like, and the robot's like fighting off some orcs, right? And at one point during the battle, it like grabs an orc, and you see it throw the orc to the side, still holding it, and it squeezes the orc and crushes it, and the orc came apart like it was made out of Legos. I am not fucking kidding. She crushed it. There was no ripping. They just. And then, like, blood came, because, like, his legs, arms, and head, and, like, half of his chest, like, just popped off, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, blood came out of his chest, but it was, okay, it was, like, it arced out, he was sideways, it arced out and went downward, and it was, you know how, when, like, little kids draw water, it's just, like, the two black lines that go down. There's no splatter or anything.
Yeah.
That's what it looked. It just went, and it just went down. You could like see the lines that the blood was in that controlled it. And it went down and went like that. And there was no splatter. There was no sound. It was just. It came out and then went and scored a little more, and then it was it. And it was like he was cut in half, and it was like a perfect fucking line of him popping apart. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, we lost Astartes for this.
Yeah, I think in the first 2 months,
Dude,
all of
we
Warhammer
lost...
Plus only had like 2 million views in 2 months, and that's after like being a really backed company. And you have a large following, while somebody like Chapter Master Vera can just go post of like 3 videos.
It has like 50 million or something like that, yeah. Like Wolf Lord Row or Chapter Master Valrak or fucking...
Brother Alpha Busa.
No,
okay, no, have you seen his new show? That's
it's amazing.
Fucking funny.
No, who's the other one? The Australian who's fucking hilarious.
Major Kill,
yeah.
Oh, I thought he did some like sketchy shit recently that like...
No, he's still good.
Oh, okay.
I
heard something about a big Warhammer YouTube like doing some sketchy shit.
I know. I think that was
Arch.
Yeah, I think that was Arch Warhammer. I think. I don't take this to the bank.
Yeah, not many people like Arch.
Listen. Don't take this to the bank, kids. I don't know if that's for true.
I thought I remembered him like saying
I'm
like
pretty
on
sure,
camera some pretty not so nice things.
No, I'm pretty sure though that I think it was actually Major Girl who made a video about Arch being like a piece of shit, but that also might.
Oh no. Reddit craps on Arch all the time.
You want to know what's super cool though? So like there's like a select few of Warhammer animators that have just like decided to not give a fuck.
Dude.
So
Flash Kids.
Do you remember?
Literally stole their name from the fucking clan, and they're just like, "Fuck you! We post what we want, bitches."
Okay. Do y'all remember that one dude who did that Warhammer 30K animation?
Yes.
Death of Hope.
Yes.
Episode 2's been confirmed, and it's previewed for this year. I've seen a trailer.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
that's gonna be good.
He was straight up just like, "Thank y'all so much for sticking with me. Like, shit's been whack as fuck, but like, I'm back, bitches."
Oh, dude!
And
hell yeah!
I have seen a preview for it, and I'm just like, my loins.
Dude, I fucking loved that.
As long as he doesn't get paid for it, he's fine.
Well, ironically, ironically enough, he wasn't really active when the whole like purge came because like his shit came out and he got in like a lot of shit with a lot of people because a bunch of people thought he was like gatekeeping, which he really wasn't. But it came out wrong. Like, it wasn't his intention.
It definitely came out that way, but what...
He was very much like, this is for the fan of, like, people who liked the grim dark of, like, Warhammer. If you don't like that, then don't be here. Because people thought he was like, just don't be here, period. If you're not like, if you don't like this specific lore type. And it's more like, this shit's gonna be fucked up. If you're not into this aspect of the lore, just don't be here. You're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah, because when that came out, when Death of Hope came out, that was like... That was right around the same time GW was also like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to be releasing like a kids adventure series. And everybody was like, but why though? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he was kind of...
And he was like, nah, fuck this shit. There's going to be murder. There's going to be torture. There's going to be fucked up shit in my show. And I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, he very much was like this whole like more kiddie version. He wasn't shitting on it. He just like, that's just not what I like about the set. Yeah. And it just came out wrong.
We forgot our one announcement.
No, we didn't.
You
remembered it.
Oh, we're a 5-star podcast!
Oh, yeah.
So we have exactly 2 reviews on Audible, and they're both 5-star. So we are technically a 5-star podcast.
They're not even reviews, they're ratings.
Or ratings, sorry.
Yes.
So any podcast that is not 5-star is obviously inferior to us. Get fucked.
Until we drop below 5 stars.
I was about to say, until in like 3 days from now where all the trolls come out and they're like 1-star review. We have like 300 1-star reviews.
No, now that I've said something, it's to be like, didn't laugh, 1 star.
Yeah.
Not funny, 1 star.
Not funny, didn't laugh, 0 star.
It's gonna be like the iFunny comments. I came in to be racist, 1 star, not learn about Warhammer or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh.
I've never seen a more
My cough is
what's the episode 4 quote? I've never seen. It's whenever they go to Mos Eisley for the first time. It's like there's
a den of degenerates or something like
that.
Yeah, a den of more thievery and degenerates or something along those lines.
Like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, all I'm saying is, if y'all 1-star us, you're playing. It's all according to plan. All to plan.
I'm off to go get water, so I don't die
right.
from coughing.
Well, I guess we should go ahead and get started then on the Winds of Magic.
We fucked around for about 15 minutes. But yeah, so this episode is going to be about the Winds of Magic, or just magic in general, because that's super important to AOS. It's one of those things that's so important, it almost takes a backseat, because, like, everything has to do with magic, so it's almost like you almost don't have to talk about it, because talking about anything in AOS is like intrinsically bringing up magic, but it's also so important you kind of have to talk about it.
Yeah. This is where I have to bring up. I'm so sorry about stepping on your toes.
Feetsies.
I'm gonna go back to our conversation we had earlier, Philip. Nowhere in that book does it say Winds of Magic.
So in here, the reason for that. Now, this I don't know what it is for AOS, but this is a fantasy thing. The reason why a lot of people know it as Winds of Magic is that is the most widely accepted name for them, but it is not. It is not necessarily the best definition. It has been called the etheric humors, the paradigm of something.
The reason why Fantasy Battles was also called the Winds of Magic is because they came in through as winds through the gates.
The gate, yeah.
But there are no gates, and for the process of calling it Winds of Magic makes no sense.
Except that's literally people who have Witch Sight. That is how they describe seeing it, is as a wind, and that is AOS lore.
Where? Because the only thing I controlled F so many different pages, and I've looked through that book, and I couldn't find anything in the other book. But
one of the websites I was looking at.
The only thing that I find that has winds is the 8 Winds Tower in Azir. And that's the only thing.
Realistically, regardless...
hang on, the 8 Winds Tower is part of the... what is it called? Arcanum Collegiate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the Arcanum Collegiate.
Yeah, but it's they don't call it... They don't call magic the Winds of Magic.
Well, yeah, the general term is just magic. But a lot of scholars still refer to it as the Winds of Magic, because that... one thing you inherently have to remember is that a lot of the lore, while it is new, it is still based off of old fantasy lore. You still see a lot of characters from old fantasy coming into new lore.
Now, that being said, with that being said, Winds of Magic is still... might be considered the best definition, but it is not the only name, and it has been said that it is not necessarily the best way to see it, but that's just the most widely accepted, but there are multiple names for it.
Yeah.
Winds is just the best for the lore itself, and it's the most commonly used for people who play the tabletop.
Yeah.
The only reason why I was going to go through, I was going to make another argument of Winds is not a great thing for Age of Sigmar, because there's complete... in every single realm, it's not consistently concentrated magic, but the
magic is condensed, is more concentrated towards the edge of the realm.
Yes. But if it was winds, it would just be as I would imagine a tiger pattern across the realm.
Well, not necessarily, because think of a hurricane.
Well, how about this? How about we just make up our own names for it? Veronite is Archeon Sack Sweat.
Well, to be fair, that's a realm stone, not a
but realm, it's the physical manifestation. We always make up our own names for it.
But that does lead into a good point, though, bringing that up, is, so, magic in AOS has a lot of different names. Depending on who you ask, they call it something different. The elves have a different name for it. I think they call it the Ethereum.
Well, etheric or Ethereum, I think it's what it's called in Elvish or Elfar, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, Elvish.
I think my favorite name of it is the etheric humors. That just cracks me up.
Yeah, that's another name.
The magic, just I'm feeling super Shaiishi today, kills everyone.
Yeah.
Where's my... That's over there.
Hang on, scroll down real quick.
Oh, yes.
And then scroll down to Witch Sight.
Precise ability. Necessary realm stone devices. Can observe magic. Doesn't say anything about Winds of Magic.
Okay. There was a reference to Winds of Magic somewhere in there.
But overall, in general... they don't say Winds of Magic.
Just know it's not the only name. Yeah. That's what we're going to call it, but it's not the only name.
Say magic.
I just like the way Winds of Magic sounds.
In my opinion, Winds of Magic is so fantasy based that
better game type. Just
Well, the
Fuck
other
AOS, I want Old World.
They're really trying to change it because I can go into this one how because magic also comes from the very beginning of when the realms were created, when the old world was destroyed and the old winds of magic, where did you say coalesce?
Yeah,
It coalesced
world,
with like stardust and the debris of the old world to literally make the 8 realms.
Yeah.
But it also divided itself into
That's why
into its different.
and that's why Shaiish, which is the realm of death, was made by the lore of death magic.
or the wind of death. Yeah.
You know what? I think the official name technically is lore. I think it's still lore of magic, right? Like the lore of death, the lore of fire, the lore of heaven.
I didn't see the term lore either.
Yeah, no, that lore is 120% old.
Yeah, that's
No, it says right here, lore is magic.
oh
Booyah!
But one thing I wanted to bring this idea is when all the magic coalesced, it pretty much condensed, and that's how you also get these like realm stones. That's the reason why, in my opinion, is no longer called the winds of magic, because they're just not winding about. They're not wisping.
Well, the one thing I will say about that is that concentration of magic is not universal across the realm, and the concentration can wax and wane in different areas. So it still does definitely like move about a little bit.
So like if the winds of magic coalesce to make like all the realms and they made the realm stones and whatnot, it kind of makes me think like, is there still like erosion and shit in AOS? Like, could you imagine the wind of death, land being eroded by water? Sure is a bitch fucking lore of magic.
I think the whole idea of like it's concentrated on the outside edge like kind of prevents that. Except in Shaiish, where fucking Nagash reversed that shit.
Nah,
and now it's all concentrated in the center.
My new headcanon is water is a strong form of magic because it erodes it erodes and it erodes magic away.
Nice. All right, but
this realm stone, yeet it into the ocean.
But that's how that's where a lot of the magic comes from. That's the reason why you have the different realms. The realms in themselves are pretty much magic based. But I love the idea about the Slan Masters have a idea of the origin of magic. And the origin of magic is magic comes from beings that make the gods look like children.
Yeah.
Just the galactic beings out in space.
Yeah.
Well, they
So
never
ones.
specify exactly, but yeah, no, they heavily allude to old ones.
I could say that that's a very Serathon way of thinking, is that the magic comes from the beings who like made the old world, which were the old ones.
Well, they also
terraform the
they
old
remember
world.
the old world still.
Yeah.
All the Slan are because Slan pretty much just don't die. I found this out. Slan think that elves are short lived.
Yeah, because Slan are. Well, I think
Slan are effectively immortal, aren't they?
Slans are immortal.
Yeah.
I think the difference is because, like, so technically Slan and elves are both immortal, right?
Uh-huh.
The difference is Slan have that croak energy where they can die and be like, I don't want to die, and then just re-inhabit their corpse as a relic priest. That's what it is. So like that's like Croak's lore is basically Lord Croak was he's a first gen Slan. So first gen, as in back in the old world, he was part of the first like birth of the Slan. He was so magically potent and he was so strong of will that he died and he was like, I don't vibe with this, and then just didn't. He just died and then just re-inhabited his corpse. But since he like died, his corpse still like withered away to bones and shit. But he was like just still in his body, just like vibing, just sitting there. And because he no longer has a physical body, he's just like, oh yeah, you stabbed me. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a mount on you now. Boop. So I think that's why Slan consider elves to be short-living. You don't really see elves.
Some big Hashirama energy.
Oh God, kill yourself.
Okay, no, so like Jacob and I have been binging the shit out of Naruto for the last week, and oh my god.
Hashirama is
First Hokage.
First Hokage.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hashira from Demon Slayer.
Yeah, that's completely different.
But no, you don't really see elves doing that. Like, normally when elves die, they die. Yeah. Normally. Unless they're a god like
in the old world,
or Tyrians, they could probably do
Well,
something
in the
like
old
that.
world, elves used... Well, in 40k, elves before, old Slanesh, they were technically immortal because their soul can just be put into another body when they were reborn.
Yeah.
Man, that's some Forerunner shit right there.
Well, I mean, that's what soulstones are, basically. Just,
Yeah.
But
I mean the whole, like, possessing a new body thing. Like, Because have you ever read the Halo lore on the Forerunners?
Yes.
Yeah,
Extensively.
It's fucking bad. Like, it's kind of a good thing the Forerunners died off.
But...
We're just all over the fucking place today.
I think that's the main reason is, like, Slan, once they get to a certain point, are literally immortal, not just in body, but in spirit, but, like, also, like, full cognitive. They don't need to be put in a different body. They just, like, float around as a spirit, and they're like, fuck you, I do what I want.
Yeah.
And it takes literally an act of God, chaos or otherwise, to, like, actually erase them from, like, existence. And to a certain extent, I don't, like, just bringing Croak back up, I don't even think, like... I'm sure the Chaos Gods could probably do it, but I don't think any of the other gods, like Sigmar, could like permanently.
Honestly, I'm not even sure the Great Horned Rat could do it.
Like,
can we have a moment of silence for our boy Mazamundi?
Who gives a fuck about
actually,
that boy?
I will fucking stab you in the throat. So no, not a moment of silence, because Mazamundi actually is one of the few lizardman characters in the old world that didn't go out retardedly. Do you know how he died? Like, what caused him to die?
I thought it was stupid because he was holding up all the debris.
That's why he died. Mazamundi was considered to be the greatest land besides Croak, and he was a student of Croak. Mm-hmm. So in the old world, when the Skaven were like, break the moon, and they shot the moon down, so basically all the lizardmen were getting put into the temple cities to get shot into space. Yes, that's how that happened. And so shit was going super crazy.
We're still covering Age of Sigmar lore. It's all good.
Yeah, there were fucking rats everywhere. And so, like, the moon was, like, Morsleep, I think what the moon was called, was literally crashing down and killing everything. And Mazamundi was sitting, like, on his little like, balcony, and he's like, fuck, like, we're not going to be able to escape because all this shit's raining down. Mm-hmm. So Mazamundi held up the moon by himself, expending every ounce of energy, of magical energy and life force in his body to do so, which sounds retarded, but Mazamundi is, besides Croak, was the strongest Slan to ever live.
Like, it's trained by Mazamundi.
It wasn't just Mazamundi. It was also a lot of other Slan.
It was him and all the Slan, but then all the Slan died. He was the last one. He was like, fuck you, I'm going to die doing this because my people will escape. And he was the last Slan to die. And for however long he was doing it, he was holding up Morsleep by himself. And that's why he died. I'm like, that's how a fucking Slan goes out. Literally holding up a gigantic celestial body.
They just had to slap him across the face backhandedly when Croak just went, oh, he died.
Oh yeah, that was a big that's what pissed me off. So Mazamundi dies, right? And once again, this isn't end times, so like before AOS. Mazamundi fucking dies, and now he's sitting there dying, like, guess I'm gonna die now. Croak's like vibing up in heaven, looking down, like, well, now that Mazamundi's dead, I'm just gonna like stop the meters. Oh, look, my people escaped. Let them drop down. Literally, he's sitting there watching Mazamundi die, like, well, now that happened, I'm gonna just red light, green light, and then I'm sitting there like, you bitch, he was your student!
Okay, let's
do what he wants. Fuck them hoes.
Let's get back into the magic.
So much anger. I see. I'd be cool with that if Croak was like, no, I want Mazamundi to die so he can be a relic priest like me because we're a lot harder to kill. But no, that didn't even fucking happen. Listen, you fuckers that make AOS lore, bring Mazamundi back as a goddamn relic priest. I'm a fucking riot.
All right, moving on to the lores.
Doing my lizard people dirty, you
slash
bitches.
Winds of Magic. Okay, so big topics. Let's fucking go. There are 8 lores, winds, types, whatever you want to call them.
Ball sack sweat of magic.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all associated both by a color and an essence.
Please tell us what the first color is.
Twaqua.
Well, unfortunately, like, they're a circle, so...
Oh, I have it. Oh, I have it right here.
Okay, no, it's literally right... No, it's literally right there. That's literally the circle.
Yes, but what does...
So, starting off with Akshi, which is, as you know, where the dwarves live, where the fire slayers live.
What are you pointing at?
The lore of fire. And and the color associated with Akshi and the lore of fire is red. Go figure.
Literally a circle.
Yeah. No, on the Lexicandum, I found it funny because it stated that the first color was celestial.
Oh yeah.
What color is celestial?
You mean
what
that?
color?
But this isn't their colors. This is their essences.
What color is celestial? Divine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Such clarification. Much wow.
No, but each lore / wind of magic has both a color and like an essence to it, and there's a bunch of different names for them.
I just put it in alphabetical order, kind of. Yeah,
it's good enough.
Yeah. So like I was saying, the first one is Akshi, It's the land of
and
fire.
That's the realm.
The realm. It's the realm of fire and I'm gonna call them lore of magic. It's the lore of fire and the land of fire because the lore of magic Akshi is what made the land of fire Akshi.
I'm gonna have to say sorry to our British people, but the British actually wrote this because there's a U in color.
Unnecessary letters.
Okay, no. But hold up. Like when I was younger, one of the first adult books that I really read that wasn't like picture book or like a book for like little kids was a book that I bought while I was traveling in Ireland, and it was all British spellings.
Like what the fuck?
And like this was before I'd really established like all of my like English grammar and shit like that because I was like 10 or 12
for the
at the
longest time. Were you as well using unnecessary letters?
No, I would legitimately spell things British because I read this book like 2 or 3 times, and yes, like I'd spell color with a U. And I went to English class one day and I spelled color with a U, and my English teacher was like, "What crack are you smoking, kid?"
Fun fact.
Hey, Mitchell, real quick, did you know that adult books aren't picture books or books for kids? Did you know?
Color.
They're not color books.
Color books.
Because you were like my first adult book, and it wasn't like a picture book or book for kids. I'm like, wow, adult books aren't picture books or books for kids.
Yeah, I mean like
Who would have thought?
A book that had words in it that you would expect a high school student.
I think hentai is a really adult book.
I have to give you shit somehow.
Mitchell, stop talking about your fucking hentai.
What? He didn't hear me.
No, he didn't.
Just continue.
But a British person put celestial as color.
Yeah, no, so
How many followers are we going to lose today?
one important thing to note is like if you go
Oh, look, Hish. The color of Hish is light.
Yeah, no, if you go look this up on like so we
The color of Akshi is bright.
I don't think they meant to put color, but it's too funny.
Yeah, so it's actually really funny because one of the websites we use for our research is Lexicanum, and if you go look on the Lexicanum, you'll realize that one of the books that they cite for their sources is the Soulbound core rulebook, which we also happen to have. And I'm sitting here reading this, and I'm like, wow, they literally copied word for word out of the Soulbound book for some of their descriptions.
Yes.
So whenever it says like color, instead of putting like the actual color associated with the lore / wind of magic, instead what they put
the adjective for
was
it, I guess.
yeah. Well, no, they didn't put the color. They put the actual lore, like the name of the lore.
Oh, no, so it's color.
Listen.
Shut the fuck up.
All I'm saying is this is AOS Bible, so everyone knows the color of celestial is divine.
Wait,
And that's how it is.
hold up, no. Where's 3rd edition core?
Behind you.
Yeah.
Directly behind you, yeah.
Wait, you have 2 core rulebooks?
Yeah, you bought 2nd edition. It was Black Friday and it was like 50% off.
Oh, yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, I remember that now. Let's see here. Did they actually list magic in here? I'm
No,
curious.
they did not.
Well,
Rip.
Yeah, I looked. What we're talking... Oh, going back to the whole entire English thing, though. Mm-hmm. I spell gray with an E.
Gray with an E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The English spelling is with an A, but like it. Yeah, no, I will spell it with an E occasionally.
I've been spelling gray wrong my whole life. I've always spelled it with an E.
Yeah.
E is English, A is American.
I guess if you're going to use gray as a name, you'd probably use E over A. Probably.
I
guess.
It depends.
Maybe.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's so.
that's one of those really weird words that like nobody really knows how to spell it.
Well, anywho, I was on Akshi. Yes.
Yes, actually.
So yeah, I'm gonna just do a real quick rundown of like the names of magic, what they're associated with, and their color.
Color. Celestial, jade, amber, gold.
Bright. Igor.
Bright, amethyst.
There we go.
Light.
Okay.
Yeah.
And gray.
Hey-o.
With an E!
So he said Akshi, which once again, it's the lore of fire, and it's also the lore of magic that made the realm Akshi.
It's also known as bright magic.
Bright magic, yes. Normally, pyromancers aren't called pyromancers; they're called bright wizards or bright mages or whatever the fuck. And its color is red. The next is Azir, which Sigmar boys, all that good stuff. Azir is the lore of heaven, and it's the name and the realm. And its color is celestial. Blue. Its color is fucking blue. After that is Shimon or Kamon. I don't think we got that down how it's spelled. Or how it's said. I'm just saying Shimon.
Until we get a cease and desist from Games Workshop.
I'm just gonna whatever name.
We're gonna flip a coin and keep
There we go. So Shaka
We
Malone.
do what we want.
So Shaka Malone is the lore of metal. It's also Shimon. There we go. It's the lore of metal. It's also once again it's the name of the magic and the realm. It is
also known as gold magic.
Gold magic, and its color is yellow. Go figure.
What?
And I think heaven magic is just heaven magic, right? Or storm magic.
Wait, what? Heaven magic? What?
Azir. It's lore of heaven.
Oh, it's
blue.
Blue.
Yeah, so its color for Azir, its color is blue, and it's known as like celestial
magic. That's celestial magic.
I think there's another name for it as well, but yeah.
So after that is Gru, one of the two. Gur. It is the lore of beasts, and its color is brown. I'm pretty sure the wild magic is another name for it, right?
Yes.
Wild magic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the actually no, it's or amber magic.
Amber magic.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, because the amber.
It's not brown. It's amber.
Amber spearing that shit.
Well, no, sorry, it is brown, but it's also amber.
After that is Giran, which is the lore of life, and its color is green. Go figure.
Yeah,
I think that's just life magic, right?
Yeah.
It's also known as jade magic.
Jade magic, because Jade Wizard, yes. Yeah. Next is Hish, which is the lore of light. And then Hish is the realm of where the elves are. Sorry, Hish is the realm of the elves. Giran is the realm of the...
Whoa. Not just the realm of elves. The realm of the pompous elves.
High elves. Giran is the realm of the sentient trees. Gra is the realm of everything that wants to kill you, also known as Australia. Shimon is the Karlan overlords.
And the Fire Slayers to a certain extent.
Yeah, and then Azir is Sigmar, Stormcast, a bunch of the cities of Sigmar.
Yeah. Space lizards. And then Akshi is predominantly Fire Slayers with humans as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention those, my bad. And Hish is the lore of light. And it's
also known as bright magic.
And its color...
I misspoke.
Wait a minute.
Light magic.
And its color is light.
Yay!
No. Its color is white.
Its color is someone paid the electricity bill.
Well, it wasn't me.
Thank you, Thomas Edison.
What? Oh,
no, I paid the electricity bill.
no! Oh, thank God.
Yeah, no, I'm the one who pays the electricity bill.
Speaking of which, I paid my gas bill and it was like $200 fucking.
Yeah.
And I want to die. Anyhow.
That sucks.
No, its color is fucking white. Next is Shaiish. It's the lore of angsty skeletons, also known as death.
What color is that?
I thought it'd be like black, and it's not. It's purple, and I vibe with that.
I vibe with that.
Which
It's also known as amethyst magic.
But yeah, the purple sun of Xerxes, or the fuck it's called, which makes sense.
I think it's Xerxes.
Xerxes, yeah, so that makes sense.
Purple Sons is Shaiish.
Shaiish, that's what it's called now. I guess Xerxes was fantasy, right?
I thought it was still called the Purple Sun of Xerxes.
No, I know now it is Shaiish, right?
Purple Sun of
yeah,
Shaiish.
That's probably fantasy
okay.
then. But it's purple. And probably that super dark, like royal purple, not that light, almost pink or like magenta purple.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure the reason they did that is so they can have a better distinction between gray magic and white magic.
Probably. And Shaiish is the realm of Nagash and
Death.
The flesh eater courts, Zambonis, ghouls, ghosts, vampires,
about everywhere. But yeah.
Sorry, then yeah. And then the last but not least is Olgu, which is the lore of Edge. Sorry, shadows. And its color is gray. And I think the reason why they don't specify like a dark magic, I still think to a certain extent dark magic is like the purest form of magic when it comes directly out of the realm of chaos. Like magic from the realm of chaos is probably dark magic. I know it existed in fantasy, and I'm pretty sure it still exists in AOS.
The other thing about it is that there are other lores of magic. They're just not as major as the big ones, because the big 8, they literally made realms.
Yeah, no, but
the Edeneth have their own.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think gray, or that one, came from dark magic.
Yeah.
Because when Marathi fell from the sky and fell in Olgu.
There you go. Remember, you're garbling water.
Olgu. Okay. It was stated that she was so in tune with the magic already. So that would be my guess.
That's fair.
There are some bits of lore that are like, so again, these are the 8 big lores of magic, but there are some people, for instance, who like the Edeneth Deepkin, who have their own lore of magic. It's known as the Deeps.
The Skaven probably have their own magic, and
the Skaven just channel pure chaos, as all chaos sorcerers do.
Bring back the lore of the rat, the lore of plague and lore of ruin.
Yeah, but the big thing to note about that is that some of the stories for Age of Sigmar are also say like, oh yeah, but some scholars say that these other lores of magic are just minor forms of magic that are like corruptions of true magic.
Right. I would say then let me rephrase. I have a personal opinion that dark magic still exists, and it is like the magic from the realm of chaos. That's what I would say. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. One thing I will note is that
because chaos have their own magic.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Chaos magic.
Yeah,
that's dark magic, and that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, because that's one thing that happens.
You can have your wrong opinion.
I can have my
no. That's just its color. It's the color of somebody forgot to pay the electrical bill.
Heyo. Man, I feel like Slanesh should be that one weird fucking roommate that doesn't pay the electric bill, and then it just gets dark, and you're like, man, that bitch forgot to pay the electric bill, but then all those BDSM lights come on, and you're like, that's why he forgot to pay the electric bill.
Yep. Too busy doing other things.
One of those things, the black light comes on, and you're like, oh god, why is it so bright?
The light, it blinds.
The beacons of Gondor lit.
No, Gondor calls for aid.
The beacon of this dick.
Oh god, it's everywhere.
He used to spell his name on the walls. Oh fuck!
But no, there are other lores of magic, like chaos. Like chaos sorcerers just channel pure chaos
to do shenanigans.
And then
and sorry, I forgot to mention Olgu is the realm of shadows. Like I said, lore of shadow, and that's where like Malekith, Valerian. I'm always gonna fuck that up. Malekith just sounds cooler. God damn it!
Hashtag Malekith. They couldn't copyright hashtag Malekith.
Hashtag Malekith. I think that's what Marathi and Malekith are. That's what a lot of the Dark Elves are. The Sisters of Cain.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking army Malerion used.
Sisters of Cain?
Daughters of Cain, sorry.
Before we get too far, though, let's
the
also
Flashlights of Cain, whatever the fuck their name is.
Let's also go over the Rumstones real quick.
Yes.
So whenever the winds of magic, the bullshit of magic, the ball drippings of magic coalesce and interact with the actual mortal planes themselves, with reality itself.
I don't mean to interrupt, but like, what realmstone would come from the drippings of Grimnir's left nut?
It's called Aether Gold.
By Grimnir's left nut.
It's called Aether Gold, my friend, and
go.
it's not a realmstone. But the dwarves, they love to find that
just
shit.
Literally his like blood and body and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, so whenever a specific lore of magic interacts with the mortal realm, like the physical stuff that is reality, eventually a realmstone is born.
Just condenses down to a physical form, being a realmstone.
Yeah, it's because magic's everywhere.
Yeah, well, because that's what Nagash tried to make his black pyramid out of, was the realmstone of Shaiish, right? Which is that black sand shit.
We'll get to that in a second.
Which again, that makes sense. He's trying to make basically a magical conduit out of pure physical magic.
Yeah, because almost everything in the mortal realms contains magic, even if it's just to a very small degree. Whereas the realm stones, they are like overflowing with it.
Yeah,
and it's not just like generic magic; it is specifically magic of a specific lore.
Like I forget what the realm stone of Akshi is.
Well, if you'll shut the fuck up, I'll get to that.
But it is like overflowing with fire magic of that. Like, that's yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and go down the list then. So Heesh, Aether Quartz.
Aether Quartz.
That's what it's called. It's fucking bright ass stone.
Its color light.
Its color is light.
Oh, thank you.
It is the color of, oh, look, my electricity's working today.
Hey-o.
Next up, Aether Quartz. So yeah, it's a yellowish white stone. It's crystalline.
Can you hand me the 3rd edition core rulebook?
Here you go.
Thanks, bud.
Now, do realm stones do different things, or are they just super magical
They
stones?
They do some things, but really what they're used for is to amplify the magic of that realm.
So it's not like the realm stone, not like Aether Core is going to start shooting fucking light beams off it or something crazy. It just amplifies light magic.
Well, it can be used to speed thoughts and actions of the bearer, as well as concentrating, disrupting magical energy.
Okay, so each realm stone does something a little different, but it's not like, with this stone, I will shoot a nuke.
Yeah, no, generally speaking, it's going to be like, it does do something for the bearer, but really it's more just a really potent source of magic.
It's used to amplify certain types of magic.
Yeah, so then Gur gets the Ember Bones.
Bones?
Yeah, and they literally just look like ancient bones.
That makes sense for the...
That are fossilized.
That makes sense for the lore of beasts.
Yeah. And of course it inspires like a very primal nature in the bearer and things like that. But it is also used to assist with shape-shifting.
Oh, okay.
So like turning into animals and
that
things
makes
like
sense.
that.
That's cool as shit, but that makes sense.
Yep.
Is it like wearing it helps you shapeshift, or do you have to like channel it or something like that?
I'm not sure exactly what it is. I just know that it's aided in it. So I would imagine, kind of like how in D&D, like whenever you cast certain spells, you need some of them you need materials for to cast them through.
Help the magic go off or something like that. That's how you shapeshift a dragon into a dolphin, and then you're in for a really bad surprise.
Oh, like it's just a cute little dog. Oh my god! Anyway, Azir, Celestium.
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 I'm surprised it's not Sigmarium.
Well, it's because they already have Sigmarite, so like.
Yeah, but we could always have more Sigmar.
Oh god.
What's the count up to now? A couple thousand?
Please stop. Just for the love of God. So the really interesting thing about Celestium is that it doesn't physically manifest on the actual surface of the plane. Mm-hmm. It literally,
in the air?
Yeah, it literally condenses from stardust off of comet tails.
Okay, so the Seraphim are just like lost in the sauce with Celestium then.
Yeah, a little bit.
They live up in the fucking...
Yeah, no, it's like literally like...
Some fat ass slan wakes up, has a bowl of Celestios, just...
Yes. And now, granted, this particular realm stone will let you shoot lightning.
But that's like the whole fucking shtick, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it like dust, or is it like you just get like smacked in the face by Celestium hail and it like kills your dog?
It's literally described as almost like motes of dust.
Okay.
It's almost literally stardust. But yeah, just a single
vacuum cleaners.
Just a single speck of it can like cause thunderstorms and shit like that.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So, Chamon, whatever the fuck it is, fucking dwarf metal homeland
the
bullshit.
The shape-shifting plane of bullshit.
Is called Chamonite.
Shamonite?
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Shamonite.
Look, that's a CH. I always pronounce that as more like the K. Anyway. But yeah, it is completely malleable. It's like... I want you to imagine if something that's like somewhere between gold and mercury and like malleability.
It's bendy.
Malleable.
So you're saying it's solid to liquid. It's in between.
Yeah,
no.
The way that this is described, you can like basically mold it with your hands.
It's AOS Play-Doh.
Yeah, basically.
It's the forbidden Play-Doh.
Okay, got it.
Something like that.
That makes sense because if y'all call back to our Realms episode, Shimon is basically like, oh yeah, all this grass is now metal for no fucking reason.
But no, like, so listen to this description of Chamonite.
Of the forbidden Play-Doh?
Yes. Resembles liquid quicksilver, aka mercury. Though left alone, it takes a globular form and has staggering transformative properties. It literally transitions between a solid and a liquid at will.
Fuck you, physics.
Like, basically, if you're looking at it, it turns into fucking mercury, but you turn around and it's like, okay, I want to be a ball now. And it's like, but why?
Once again, that makes sense, because Shimon is weird.
Yeah, brother.
Do you want to eat mercury cows? Because go to Shimon, that's how you eat mercury cows.
But yeah, its most common application is to be alloyed with another kind of metal to give it transformative or just inherently magical properties.
Yeah. So here's a cool question: could you make like weapons and shit out of realm stones? Like if you wanted to like have a sword out of fucking
I would imagine
aether
so.
quartz and you just like pound that bitch into the hilt or something like that.
I would imagine so. Like I would imagine that aether quartz gets used to make like.
So I feel
stones
like you could probably make some dumbass alloys with shamanite.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they're
The whole
saying.
point,
Is,
like a shamanite sword or something like that. Now, do you
maybe
think
maybe not the sword, but like one of the descriptions I read said that it's used for alchemy.
Now, here's the question: is if you had like a realm stone weapon, do you think it'd be used more like a focus for casting magic, or would it just give the magical properties? Like, oh yeah, I do magical attack now.
So, so we were talking about Varanite earlier, the realm stone of 8 points.
Archeon's asshole. Yes.
Yes. So, like, weapons that are forged from Varanite are, like, insanely deadly. Because of the nature of, like, oh, look, I touched you. Oh, look at that. You're now a Chaos Spawn, basically. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that weapons
got that Heimlich Himmler energy.
Something like that.
That's a old world reference.
But I would imagine that swords made from Chamonite, especially if they're then further augmented by Dwarven rune
Mercury
magic.
poisoning.
I would imagine if they're then further augmented by Dwarven rune magic, just become like massively potent swords because now you've got rune magic that's also being like given a big power up from Chamonite.
Do you think it'd be a sort of like, if it like touches you, it like alters your form? Like your leg's now metal.
I like to believe it's like your blood's now solid.
Oh look, my blood vessels ripped out of my body. Or no, your bones are now helium.
Actually, you know what I think of whenever I read like Chamonite weapons and things like that. Honestly, what I think of is almost like the dagger that Frodo gets stabbed with in the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, the fucking the moral blade.
Yeah. That like it stabs him and it like poisons his blood with magic. Mm-hmm. I almost think of something more like that.
See,
where like you use Chamonite to.
Can you get magic poisoning?
I mean,
fuck do you think
have you ever heard of?
is?
Yeah, I was about to say, have you ever heard of Warpstone? But no, what I would imagine is that they would alloy Chamonite with like steel, and use that to make a sword. And so now you've got a sword with Chamonite embedded in it. And then you can either use that to like make the sword transformative, so like a sword that like turns into a walking staff or something like that. Mm-hmm. So the sword itself can transform, or you use it to make your runes that you would carve into your blade
stronger.
more potent. See, because you're talking about because one thing you have to remember is that these are inherently magical.
The
magical materials.
Yeah, like it's magic in solid form.
Yeah, so these are inherently magical materials.
Pause of like fuck words.
Yeah, really.
It's not like we do this for a living.
Oh, totally not. Technically, we don't do it for a living.
Exactly.
But no, so with the other thing that I'm thinking of though is that maybe you have this Chamonite blade and then you carve runes into it, and that allows the runes to hold better with the blade and not like overload the blade.
See, now that makes sense, but in my head canon is still I stab you with it and your brain's now like carbon dioxide.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a rune.
That makes me giggly, but Philip's probably right. But I could turn someone's toes into snakes. I'm cool with that one.
All right.
The reverse Medusa. Look at my toes.
Oh man, that would be so uncomfortable. Be crawling on the cracks of your ear, just like fucking quit it. Could your feet eat things? Like,
bro, stop! You're on your bullshit. Quit it.
Hiya! If you kick someone in the face,
moving on to
would they turn
Girin.
into stone? That's the question.
Moving on to fucking Girin, you have Cycle Stone.
Okay, is that like the cycle life and death type thing?
It's called Cycle Stone. I would imagine it's like the cycle of... Yes, I would imagine it's similar to the cycle of life.
That would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's more of a Nurgle thing, but yeah, I guess Realm of Life kind of... I mean, Nurgle's been all up in Girin, so maybe he's affected.
So this is another...
But before you go on into that explanation, Jade magic is known to go in cycles. Sometimes...
Oh, the seasons, right?
Like, not so much as seasons, but it's known to wax and wane when it comes to its strength.
Kind of like how like life itself kind of goes dormant during winter, but then it's in full bloom in summer or spring or whatever the fuck
Probably.
with that. Yeah, and that's how like Alariel has her winter form and her war form and shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
The Cycle Stone of Ghiren, what makes it interesting is it's another one of these realm stones that likes to change its state of matter. So like if you just come across it, you might see it as like almost like an emerald colored shard of ice. Is one of the descriptions I've seen for it.
Okay.
So it almost looks like an emerald, just sitting on the ground. But it melts into puddles.
Are you looking for a cat?
I'm looking for Hephaestus, yes.
I don't think he's in here.
Continue.
Moving on. Bro, would you come sit back down?
Oh, my cat.
It's not
Not your cat! We're about to get stabbed.
Yeah, probably. It's fine. But no. So, but it'll melt from being a solid down into a liquid, and then it's a green puddle, and then that green puddle will evaporate into a gas cloud, and then it re-solidifies back to a solid state.
Okay.
And basically, it's just you can consume it as like almost a health potion. You can spread it on crops to make them grow. Like you can do a bunch of shit with it. Basically, if you need to get better, you can use this to get better.
Why do I feel like this is GW trying to normalize like meth addictions? Just drink this rock.
No. That's crack, man.
Oh fuck, that was funny. All right,
Yeah.
sorry.
So yeah, that's Cycle Stone of Ghiren. Next up, we have the Ember Stone of Akshi.
Set things on fire.
Oh yeah. So it literally looks like a burning coal, but this thing burns for all of eternity. So it's more like uranium.
Now, what's the? I know Aether Gold is not a realm stone, but what is the difference in like magical properties between Aether Gold and?
So Aether Gold, from what I remember, it's been a while since we talked about Aether Gold, but from what I remember, Aether Gold is literally like the body of Grimnir.
Yeah, but does it have any different magical properties, or is it just like
Yes,
it's
no,
magical
it is.
shit?
It's inherently different.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very different because, no, God, what are we talking about again?
We found a cat.
We found a cat. I actually knew he was there.
My boy.
But no, fucking the gold.
Aether Gold.
Aether Gold, thank you. Aether Gold is like literally the body of Grimnir.
Yeah.
Whereas Emberstone is basically the lore of Fire Made Manifest.
Yes. Aether Gold is Grimnir's left nut.
Yeah. But there's a reason the Fire Slayers live in Akshi. Because long-term exposure to Emberstone can basically turn you into a murder hobo. Yeah.
So the entire AOS setting.
Hobo with a shotgun.
Basically staying in close proximity to an Emberstone for too long is akin to like standing next to a greater demon of Khorne. The effects aren't nearly as like immediate, but it will just turn you into a like angry murder hobo.
Explains
basically
the
what it
Fire
does.
Slayers to a T.
Yep. So because Emberstones, they don't just give off heat, they also fuck with your emotions, specifically your passion. Mm-hmm. So the more passionate that you are, the more fired up you get, and the more you're willing to like throw hands with everyone over like every little thing.
In the words of Sarge from Red vs. Blue, I've got a boner for murder.
Oh my gosh, this is really cool. I completely went on a different rabbit hole when it comes to lore. Do you know how there's a daylight cycle in the realms? Mm-hmm. It's because Hish goes in front of Akshi. No, not Akshi. Olgu. So,
Oh my fucking god.
so if Olgu is in front of the Hish, it's night. But if Hish is in front of Olgu, it's day.
do me a favor
Hish and
and
Olgu
just,
kind of
like-
rotate around
Yeah,
each other.
do me a
Okay.
favor and just like stab me in the fucking eye socket.
Yeah.
I just kind of like saw that.
the plane is bright.
Its color is light. And that's
Wait, does
what
that mean
it is.
does that mean Hish just doesn't have night?
Owls don't need to sleep.
Okay, I'm just saying, if we want to go down that rabbit hole, that means that technically every single realm but Akshi should be a cold, barren fucking wasteland. Because I doubt
Yeah,
that
technically.
Hish is sitting there putting off the fucking bajillion degrees of Kelvin or whatever fucking temperature the sun is.
Excuse me? Magic.
Well,
No. Magic!
actually, the funny thing about that is that technically, by that logic, Azir doesn't have a night cycle either, because Azir reigns over all of them. That's why at night they can all see the celestial heavens. It's because everybody can see Azir. Which means Azir is in a position that it can always be seen, which means it can always see Hish.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a bug. If I lived on a world of perpetual sunlight, I'd kill myself.
Oh, yeah.
I have trouble sleeping during the day, and I'd just be like, God, just fucking end
You fall
me.
asleep in my car.
Okay, no, cars are different. No, during the day. Cars are different, and the movement hell. But if I'm just in a room, and there's like, it's bright, I'm just... It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, and then, of course, Emberstone is used to forge weapons. Go figure. That's like half of them.
Shocking.
And so then we get to the False Stone of Ulgu. Dun, 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 dun.
Where are we? Oh.
Right here.
Okay. I was about to say, this is taking a while.
Yeah, so... Yeah, we're almost done.
Look how foofy
It's... So, False Stone's really weird because it cloaks itself. It doesn't... It's not like Chamonite or Cycle Stone where it changes its... Like, it's still inherently the same thing, but it changes.
You're trying to tell me the Realm Stone of the Realm of Shadow can cloak itself? What?
Yeah, I know, right?
No way!
But no,
Holy
like,
shit!
It's basically illusion made manifest, so it can look like anything. Like, literally anything. But it's an illusion, so it inherently tries to hide itself. So it's inherently going to look like something that you aren't expecting it to look like.
That's a weird dick. Oh well.
Bro, stop staring at my crotch.
Someone Nash cackles in the background.
But no, yeah, basically, one of the only ways to actually find Fallstone is to find some poor bastard with Witch Sight and be like, you're coming with me and we're going hunting for Fallstone. Because only Witch Sight can actually perceive what it truly is. Because Witch Sight basically allows you to actually physically see magic. Because a lot of wizards and whatnot, like, over time, they become attuned to magic, so they can sense magic around
Witch
them,
Sight is
but they
also-
can't actually see it. Whereas Witch Sight is straight up like, no, I see that bitch.
Witch Sight is also how people have perceived the colors of the different magics, because they literally see the magic as color.
Well, yes, to a certain extent, it's because they can actually see it. But one of the weird things about magic is that basically everyone who works with magic long enough
they become attuned to it.
They become attuned to it, and they can perceive it in their own way. They don't necessarily see it, but they can, like, feel it around them.
I know, I know that, but I'm saying people with Witch Sight can just fucking see it.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that one of the really weird things about it is that basically everyone, to a certain extent, regardless of whether or not you can actually see it, is over time, to a certain extent, everyone starts associating colors with it, regardless of whether or not they have Witch Sight.
I guess depending on what the magic does, it just kind of get used to, like, fire is red, and it burns red.
Because that's kind of the
Excuse
interesting
me,
thing.
it burns
Is that one of
orange
the
and sometimes blue.
Red.
Green if you throw a chemical in there.
Red.
Well, it can burn red if you throw chemicals in it too, but that's besides the point.
I think salt is green, right?
No.
No.
Well,
We're not going
technically,
We're not going there.
technically everything that you
I'm
add
gonna
is
throw
salt,
chlorine
so
on it,
whatever.
see what happens.
Haha, death.
Woo!
Hey guys, hey kids, you want to see some death magic?
Ah, yes, the afterlife. AOS version of mustard gas.
But no, shit, where the fuck was I? Y'all motherfuckers got me off topic.
We're talking about Witch Sight
Yes.
and how, like,
Okay.
naturally people associate color whether they can see it or not.
Okay,
Yeah.
now he knows where he's at. He's going to go back 10 minutes from that point.
Once you start being able to perceive magic, everyone initially starts perceiving it a little differently. Because you're going to start, once you learn to distinguish between the different lores of magic, you're going to start associating specific lores with specific sensations
Pardon me, I'm dying.
or
Sorry.
perceptions. So specifically, let's say, I'm going to use Brandon Sanderson as an example because he has something that makes this really easy. But let's say you are a brewer or somebody who makes liquor. And
Just to help everyone else out, who the fuck, Brandon Sanderson?
he's an author. He writes a book series.
There you go.
In
case y'all were curious.
I'm referencing something that one of his works. But let's say you make liquor or wine, and you make wine. Let's go with wine, and you make a bunch of different colors of wine. just for shits and giggles. Like one batch of grapes that you makes blue wine. Another batch of grapes makes green wine. Another batch of grapes makes like just basically
Purple
clear
wine
wine.
or something
Exactly.
like that, or the fuck, yeah.
Let's say you make 8 different wines, all of 8 different colors. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So
try to
let's say
assume
now
one
all of a
certain-
sudden, like you wake up one day, so you make all of this wine. You wake up one day and suddenly you can perceive magic. As you start to learn and distinguish between the two, one thing you might do is you might start associating the tastes of your different colors of wine with the color that they would be associated for a wind of magic. So like your red, so like if you're around fire magic or if you're attempting to cast fire magic, you might associate that with your red wine that you make. Whereas if you're trying to cast like celestial
heaven
magic, you're
you're-
going to associate that with
your
like your blue wine.
wine, yeah.
So like whenever you're around it and you're sensing it, you're going to like, it's going to draw you more towards the taste of like your wine because that's what you know. That's what you've been doing for years.
Yes.
But
This magic sure does taste purple to me.
yeah, and it's weird because like that's something I was reading. Like everybody perceives
to a
it
certain
differently.
extent when you live like because AOS is so much more magically infused than fantasy was. Like you're literally living, you're imbibing magic daily. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what you do, you are somehow taking magic in and putting it out your entire fucking life. It's just human or mortal nature to make associations with shit.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
like to also believe it's part of the vibe of the realm.
All the fire slayers just red.
When you look at Azir, you look at that realm, it's very calm. A calm color.
Blue
that's
is
typically blue.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at like Shaiish, it's just death.
Dark, and you see that with a darker color like black, death, blackness, things like that. Or sorry, purple, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A darker color.
Yeah.
Whereas normally it's like super passionate. Red is one of the most attractive colors of the human eye. It's a color that's associated with like fast and like passion and rage and whatnot. So when you see fire and shit, you're like red because that's like so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And now we're moving on to the last realm stone that belongs to like one of the actual big realms, and that's grave sand. Grave sand is the realm stone of Shaiish. And it's, of course, associated with death.
Dun, dun, dun.
Go figure.
So, but it's an actual sand, right? Before I make
it's,
this joke.
it's legitimate
Yeah.
grains of sand.
So, are y'all familiar with? So it's a certain type of like shower product. It's like it's
Activated charcoal?
a kind of it my girlfriend has some, and it's like vanilla scented, but it feels like gravel or sand. You rub it on your body, and it kind of like makes your skin smell like a certain scent.
You're exfoliating?
Yeah, but it's not soap. It's just like a kind of a rough, coarse substance that smells like something pleasant, and you rub it over your body. It kind of makes you smell like a certain. It's very potent, but it's very granular.
That sounds like activated or some kind
Something
of
like
charcoal.
that. I forget the
something or
name
another.
of it, but it's like sand.
Yeah,
But you use it when you shower, it makes you smell like that.
yeah.
That's the shit Nagash uses in the bath. So they're just like,
Well, no. So
death
like,
sand.
the funny thing about that,
Rub it on my bony nipples. Yeah.
well, the funny thing about that is that if you collect enough grave sand, you can just basically become immortal.
Well, that's how the Necroquake happened, is all the grave sand.
Yep. The gigantic portal pyramid of grave sand that was then chaotic grave sand. Hashtag rats.
Hashtag rats. But no, like literally, if a necromancer were to collect enough grave sand, he could just stop aging.
Well, yeah, because he's easy.
Or raise whole ass armies of undead. Because, welcome to the Night Haunt.
Well, like, yeah, he's basically like infused with death magic now. And to a certain, when you control death, you don't necessarily die.
Yeah.
At least not naturally.
So yeah, that's the big 8 realm stones.
And now the two bullshit ones.
Yeah, and we're not really gonna talk about Varanite. Varanite.
We covered that in the beginning.
Yeah.
What about Ratstone?
Warpstone. So Warpstone is the physical embodiment of chaos. Like, whereas, the lore of light makes Aether Quartz and Heish and like
Chaos
shit
just
like
makes
that.
fucking green
Chaos
rocks.
just makes green ass rocks that glow, and you don't want to fucking be near it unless you're a rat.
Yep. Skaven, love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, Skaven's over here, like, Aether Quartz, whack. Fucking, Grave Sand, whack. Chamonite, whack. Chaos Rock, dope.
Yeah. No, the Skaven are literally just like mealtime, motherfucker.
It's also what powers the majority of their magic and their
Constructs.
dumbass weapons.
Yeah.
You got Warpstone grinders, Warpstone catapults,
Worldstorm
Warpstone
Gatling
cannons.
guns. Yeah, so when a rat rolls up and pumps you full of fucking, like, 50 caliber machine gun bullets, Warpstone.
Oh, yeah. Warp fire throwers. But yeah, no, being exposed to Warpstone for too long just starts causing corruption and mutations.
Warpstone
and like
plague and shit, all that dumb shit.
Warpstone does Warpstone.
Oh, real quick. Completely off topic. I learned how Claw died.
Oh, really?
And yeah, you know how Claw died? Mm-hmm. He died blowing up the Black Pyramid of Nagash in the old world.
That's amazing.
He was like, I'm a fuck with Nagash, and he died because he blew it up, and he was like, well, that's gonna fall on me. Okay.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna die, but I fucked with Nagash.
He was going for that fucking warp stone. He blew that bitch up. Nagash was just like,
fucking rats.
fucking rat. You know what Nagash did? Like the first time he met rats. Like,
what?
Way back when he was like not really like the whole great necromancer yet. Like back when he first got kicked out of Nekahara. He fucking ate them.
What?
He was like, these rats are eating warpstone. Sticks in bendy straw. Yeah. He also fucking hates Skaven because they compete with him for warpstone. And Nagash is like, I need that shit for necromancy bullshit.
That's amazing.
At least way back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he still hates them now because now Nagash hates fucking everyone. But back in the day,
He licked my toes.
he booped me with his snoot and it was cold.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to add?
I mean, we got.
The dangers of it.
It can kill you.
Yeah, if you miscast, it can kill you.
Improperly
The other
controlling
thing
magic.
about it is that magic can be very like habit forming. It's almost like a drug to some people.
Yeah.
Like once they realize, oh, I have power now, some people just literally go mad with it, and then they like can't stop learning more magic, and they can't stop like trying to gain more power and shit like that. And that's why you often hear about like, especially people who end up falling to chaos.
They're like
Because-
magic.
yeah,
Lore.
like
Tzeentch
Tzeentch-
give me more knowledge and shit.
Yeah, that's a big way that Tzeentch recruits, is basically like some poor fucker learns how to cast magic and is like, I want to do more of this. And Tzeentch is like, I can hook you up, fam.
Tzeentch over here's like, ooh, did you ring?
Yes. Yeah, that's almost exactly how that shit goes.
But yeah, improperly controlling magic leads to destruction. Who would have thought that would happen in any fantasy setting ever? And of course, like you said, there is lots of lesser magic. And we're not going to go into endless magic because we talked about that in Soul Wars.
Yeah, the one thing to note about endless magic is just endless magic also belong to various different lores. So like the lore of death is going to have some endless spells.
Yeah, every lore has its own specific endless spells. Like Garen has, what is it, the Ember Swarm, the Jade Swarm or the Amber Swarm. Or
I
something.
have no fucking clue.
I think it's called the Ember Life Swarm or something. Basically, it's an endless spell of life that's just like heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can also go into some fun little fanfics of the orcs.
Hold on. Fanfics? I don't want to get demonetized. Not that we're monetized, but...
Yeah.
The orcs believe that magic came from when...
Oh, yeah, no, origin stories. Oh my god, some of these are fucking funny as shit.
So with orcs, they believe that Gorka Morka just puked up magic.
Yeah,
There you go.
Back in the age of myth.
Do orcs channel magic? Do they have shamans?
Yes, they have
They
shamans.
have shamans? Okay.
Yeah, the way that they do it is that they just their shamans instinctively know.
They just know how to do it.
And what they do is they practice to aim it. While the Ogre Maw tribes,
They have their own magic, don't they?
it's still destruction magic.
But is it still considered like gut magic and shit, or something different?
I don't know, but I know how they practice it is just by trial and error.
I mean, that's a very fair way of testing things. Like, I cast it. Did I die? No. Did they die? Yeah. Lit.
Yeah.
You know, back in fantasy, I don't know about it in AOS. Back in fantasy, the ogres they had fucking like gut magic and shit, and it was fucking hilarious.
Fire bells.
Fire bellies.
Dude, have you seen the new Fire Bellies for Warhammer 3? Oh, they look dope as hell.
Okay, this is gonna
No. So like,
this
fair
is gonna
warning.
sound really weird, but the character model for Scarbrand in Total War 3, he's a very buxom bloodthirster.
Massive pectorals.
No, they look like titties. I'm gonna keep it a bucket. You look at his armor, it's like flat up, and I'm like, Slanesh? What?
He's hella thick.
Oh, dude, did you see Okoi's 19...
Nerdlings?
Okay, no, that's not the one I was thinking, but that one's funny too. No, the 19 cannons or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good too.
I don't know if you've seen it. There is literally an animation for the Grid Unclean ones in Total War 3 where a Grid Unclean one will squat, bend over, and literally shit Nurglings on people.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's
funny.
an attack animation,
and
the Nurglings come out like this, like they're going to fucking slip and slide, but they're coming out of his asshole.
And then he also vomits them up as a ranged attack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Could you not, Cat?
I don't think they were claws. I think he
fuck out of
was
there.
just like petting it.
Doesn't really make a difference. We don't need him clawing up books.
Fucking Philip almost had me beat Loki's ass because Loki had the audacity to lay near his boots, and Phil was like,
no.
"That motherfucker!" I'm like, "Wait a minute! Don't beat his ass." I think he's just laying next to him. Loki's just like,
Okay, to be
cool
fair,
ass
like
boots.
to be fair, like 5 minutes beforehand, he was like, I thought like it looked like he was trying to eat my shoe, and I was like, that motherfucker.
Fat ass is like, this dead cow. Holy shit!
I know, right?
There's so there's destruction, there's death. Technically, there's four major types of magic as well, which go to chaos, death, destruction. Order.
Yeah, certain lores of magic are going to be associated with certain faction or grand alliances as well. Yeah. One interesting thing to note: death magic, like true death magic, is only known by Nagash and his Mortarks. That's it. Like Nagash does not share his knowledge unless
his thralls.
Well, his Mortarks too, to a certain extent, because they're bound to him, so they can't like rebel against him.
There's still other death wizards, like
yes, but I mean
vampires, but they are bound to Nagash still, so they're technically just the thralls of Nagash. No death magic.
Yeah, so like if you are not beholden to Nagash and you know death magic, it's because you figured it out through trial and error, and Nagash will take offense to that.
Oh, and something that we haven't really covered yet is and this is kind of obvious, but we're gonna say it anyway just because it's good to say these things. If you are a bright wizard, so a pyromancer, it is going to be easier for you to cast pyromancies and Akshi. Not that it's hard, but like if you're in the actual land of fire, it's just going to be like more powerful, or it's going to be easier to like condense and get out. Like you'll still see different magic users across the eight realms, but if you are a pyromancer, you're not only going to see more bright magic in Akshi, it's going to be easier to get off like the dumber spells because the land is like naturally feeding you, and that's kind of how it is for all the lores of magic. So if you have a death magic user, it's going to be dumber shit, easier to do in Shaiish than it would be in, like, Giran. But you can still do it, it's just going to be easier for you.
Yeah, and, like, you don't have to be in Akshi to learn fire magic.
Yeah.
For instance, it's not a college.
One of the Imperial colleges.
Not the one I'm thinking of. Not the one I'm thinking of. No, there is in Hish, there is an elven, I think it's called, like, the Eldritch Council, I think.
Yeah.
That teaches everyone magic. Like, literally, you show up and you're like, hey, I want to learn magic. And they're basically like, you a Skaven?
Nope.
No? Okay, cool, you can come in.
Are you
and they will
Chaos
teach you,
Spawn?
Yeah, and they will teach you basically any magic you want.
I also know that Tactless went around, I think he went around the eight mortal realms and made like 8 different like Imperial colleges of magic.
Yeah, so that's one of the interesting things to note is that, so back in the Age of Myth, Teclis did that shit. Like, he went around and started teaching magic shit like that. It was like, everybody should know magic.
Well, because the high elves are the only ones that could do like high magic, which was when you like bind all of the 8 magics together. But humans couldn't do that, and they were doing some crackhead shit, and Teclis was like, we need to quit this shit.
Yeah. So, in the Age of Chaos, a lot of that knowledge was lost.
Yeah.
Basically, the only realm that retained its like teaching, its actual like magical teaching, like schools and whatnot, was Azir, and then kind of sort of Hish, mostly because there's just so many elves that know magic in Hish. Like you're never gonna exterminate that. Unless you just literally nuke the realm.
I don't think Hish got like hit near as bad by the Age of Chaos than like Shimon or Akshi or anything.
Skaven got in. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, like they got fucked up, but like when comparing to like Akshi and Shimon, like Hish and Olgu got off relatively light.
So what I've also learned is the Age of Chaos was just a different enemy when it comes to Olgu. No, not Olgu. Gur. Mm-hmm. Because I'm listening through Dominion as an audiobook when I now travel with my new job. That's a commute of over an hour to get there now.
That's an hour both ways.
Yeah.
I can hear our British listeners going, "What the fuck?
You drive an hour? What the shit? My nan lives 30 minutes away, and I see her once a fucking decade.
I know, right?
That land just wants to kill you. There was a description of a river of bugs
God. No.
that ate each other. So the small ones would devour slowly the bigger ones, and the bigger ones would just devour the smaller ones, and it just looked like a rampage river.
A whole ass army of like Archaeons, hardened Chaos veterans who have slain mortals for hundreds of years, walk into Gur. There for like 3 days, come out. I want to go back to the realm of Chaos.
Yeah.
What happened? I saw Jim get eaten by a praying mantis, and it was fucking terrifying. And then we all got molested by a tree.
Dude. Oh my god.
And that wasn't even before the orcs fucking showed up.
Dude, you said molested by a tree, and the only thing I could think of was the newest...
Dead?
No. The newest Flash Gets video. Are you saying we should let it to die? No, brother, I'm saying we should help it. Or help it die, rather.
It was just one giant furry.
God. Oh god, it's so bad.
You know, that just really fucking hilarious when you think of like we were in the realm and shit got crazy, and then the orcs showed up. Like we were beaten before the greens again. Then they got there and it was like, mother, I have made mistakes.
Mother,
I wish to go home.
So I don't think Gur got really hella affected. They got affected by the Age of Chaos, yes. But they just swapped out one enemy for another enemy.
I could feel like of all the realms, I could feel like of all the realms, Korn's just sitting up there in his gigantic fucking throne of skulls and the brass that looking down at Gur, just like, yeah, that's a vibe.
Something like that.
Oh,
all right.
Age of Sigmar. Magic was crucial, apparently, to the restoration of the realms.
I mean,
yeah. Well, it's because
what is it magic crucial to?
Yeah,
you know, like fucking.
And then of course there's the Arcanum Optimar and endless spells and shit like that, and the Necroquakes, and we've covered like all of that shit so many fucking times.
The only thing we can cover more in depth was the Arcanum Optimar, but that's like almost its own episode.
We've kind of already done that though.
We covered it.
What the fuck is that?
Are your neighbors in the walls now?
Was that a cat?
No, that was like in the drywall.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we're haunted.
Oh, okay.
Archeon heard me talking all that shit, and now he's come back. Dig drippings, what? Yeah!
Well, that's the end of that episode. Oh my gosh, and we got it below an hour and 30 for the actual...
Holy shit.
Damn! And that's with a lot of dicking around and talking.
Well, like I was saying before, like... To talk about almost anything in AOS, you have to talk about magic. So to a certain extent, we've talked about a lot of this. But this was just like really putting all the pieces together and making sure the broad spectrum is like really well defined for everyone. But like we could nitpick over every lore for a solid hour and a half easily if we wanted to.
So technically, this is the end of the episode, so I'm going to go back over our announcements. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter. We are now a 5-star podcast. Rate us on Podbean, Apple, and Audible.
Don't forget Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram for cat pictures.
Eventually.
Jacob.
I have 4 of them. Trust me. I have plenty of material.
Take a picture of that real quick. Look at that. That's adorable.
See, I have pictures of her when she was like this big, so my pictures trump these pictures.
But that's take a goddamn picture.
Fuck you, no.
That's really bad. Is it time just to dick around?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's adorable.
Dude, she looks like she wants to die.
But she's like hella comfortable.
Look at that. Look at that. Cat's like, you motherfucker. Dude, that cat has fucking Sam Jack energy, just you motherfuckers.
Toe beans.
Wait, stop that. She's comfy. I don't want her to run away from me.
Should we just end it there?
We've said all of our stuff. They know that I'm not dead. We've talked about our social media stuff. We've dicked around. Yeah, that's I think that's about it for the magic stuff. What I was saying is realistically, like, we kind of dipped our toes into the Arcanum Optimar, but like that was a pretty important thing. So we could, if we wanted to, we could probably do like at least like a 45-minute episode over that by itself. But
so
beyond that,
what do we want to do for our next episode though? Let's go ahead and figure that out.
Beastman.
Well, we talked briefly about possibly doing
Flesh Eater
Flesh Eater Courts and talking crackhead shit about Bretonia.
If we do Flesh Eater Courts, I want to get Jay back on. But
Yeah, because like he was basically like, "Let me back on, or we're gonna stop being friends."
yeah, for Flesh Eater Courts, that man loves Flesh Eater Courts.
I'm down with that. I'm always down to talk to shitpost on Bretonia.
All right, so do we want to go ahead and do Flesh Eater Courts next week then?
We'll figure it out and we'll post it on the social medias.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I just typically do a really bad hint.
Right, just like French and British. Boom, that's all you get.
Yeah.
Because for this episode, I put down it's gonna be quite windy.
Oh my goodness. Boop the snoop.
Random idea. I'm thinking about the idea of doing a heavily magic-based Beastman army.
Lots of Bray shamans.
I just want to constantly bring out the Flock of Doom.
Oh god.
That's my favorite spell because it just
More
death
new
birds.
energy.
Death
You're
birds.
just being pecked to death by like crows and shit.
Yes, it's great.
Dude, so do y'all know like why Morgu is like the second best caster in Total War Warhammer 2?
Why?
Because you can get one of his skills. He has a perpetual flock of doom around him.
That's not Morgu.
Yeah, it is. Of the Beastmen, he got updated. Yeah. Also, Morgu can cast Flock of Doom for like 2 winds of magic. He has Beagle energy with Flock of Doom.
Oh god.
The Dark Omen.
Yeah, the one who can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can get a
I
perpetual.
just don't think his name is Morgu.
Because it's Torox, Karak, one eye, or Karak, one eye. Shadow, fucking the cringe lobster claw bitch, the Shadow Grave. Forget his first name. But then I'm pretty sure it's Morgo. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
He can have a perpetual flock of doom,
Yes.
and he's also like
He's pretty much Beagle, but just Beastman.
yeah, no, yeah. He has Beagle energy. Like Beagle can do the fucking the metal shower for like 1 winds of magic. He can do flock of doom for like 2.
And then if he's in combat, there's Flock of Doom.
But the
going on.
difference is he's faster than Beagle.
Yeah.
Because he flies naturally now.
He's also
Fast as shit.
he's the only small flying entity.
Yep. Yeah. He's so like hitting him is almost impossible because he's just one dude, tiny as shit, and his speed's like 95 or something like that. He's fat, and then he's like Flock-a-doom, Flock-a-doom, Flock-a-doom.
Now, at the very beginning, Flock of Doom does jack squat.
But when you're overcasting Flock of Doom for like 4 winds of magic, and you do it 97 times, like people are gonna fucking die.
Yeah. And now the changing winds of magic in Warhammer 3.
It not only can you use it in battle, it's also a resource you spend on the campaign map.
Yeah.
Because like Zinch can like spend it to like use his teleport stance. He just and just teleports. But yeah, no, I'm learning that. I'm actually in the middle of a Beastman campaign, and it's dumb as shit. Oh my god, that's fucking precious.
No, it's Freya annoying Hephaestus.
No, they're bathing each other.
I don't know why, but I thought you said mating each other, and I was like, no, they're not. he ain't got no testicles. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that does it for the podcast, though.
Alrighty, well, that is the end, ladies and gents. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya in 2 weeks.
Bye.